Hello, I'm K.D. Hale, Vice President of the Association of African American Cultural Gardens, and I have the honor of welcoming you, our audience, to our Sankofa web series. Our goal is to educate regarding the African American experience through this series. We will be interviewing some of the most interesting, engaging leaders, business leaders, and great entrepreneurs in this great city. These change agents will tell us about their journey, who they are, who inspired them, what they do, and what does African American history and African American cultural gardens mean to them. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page, the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. And go to our website, aacg.org, for most updated information regarding events in our Sankofa series, which can also be viewed on demand.
Hello, my name is Obie Shelton with the African American Cultural Garden Association. In this Sankofa series, we want to expose and highlight some people who have really been busy in Cleveland making a difference, whether you know their names or not. And when you hear what they've been doing and all of the differences that they've been making, it's going to give you a sense of history, of why we have been able to advance the way we have. And hopefully, that's going to inspire you to help us build the African American Cultural Garden. So right now we have Wanda Davis. Wanda Davis has been really active in this community. We're actually recording this in the Glenville community, right? And you are the founder and executive director of the Ashbury Senior Computer Community Center.
Correct.
Which is not far from here, right?
Right around the corner, actually. Yeah.
And what you do is you train seniors to work the internet. Is that a good summary?
Yes. We train seniors to work the internet. We train seniors to become digitally efficient online. We train seniors to become self-empowered, to use technology for their own meaningful use.
What, I was looking at your mission statement and you talked about closing the digital divide. Now, divide. I understand, we were talking about that 20 years ago.
Yes.
Can you review what that means, digital divide?
Digital divide is the ability for everyone to fully participate in using technology for their own self-fulfillment on any level. That means that they would have complete access, and we call it in our digital space the four-legged stool, meaning that they have connectivity, high-speed connectivity, not just any connectivity, but high-speed connectivity. They have access, they have access to dependable devices, high-quality devices. They have skill sets, and if they don't have skill sets, that's why ASC3 exists, to ensure that our seniors will have skill sets, so they can use the devices, the connectivity efficiently and effectively. And then that fourth leg of the stool, some people kind of forget from time to time, is the tech support. Ashbury has been here for 20 years to be that tech support. And we're not talking high-level tech support. We're talking about just meaningful use tech support, the ability to be able to help a senior know what telehealth is, to know what online banking is, to use technology to connect with their family and friends. I have a lot of seniors that their kids have gone away to college, over the years. And they had no means of communications. And so they came to us, we taught them how to use Facebook, how to use Skype, and how to use whatever application was popular at the time that their kids were using, so they were able to communicate back and forth. So a digital divide means actually having everything that you need to participate fully in our society, in the technological world.
During the pandemic, my experience was that a lot of people who were not tech savvy were forced to become tech savvy if they wanted to survive and stay in touch. And it has even lapped over now that it's the pandemic kind of fading out. That it has made them more tech savvy. They're using, they're going on Zoom, right?
Yes.
A lot of people who are watching this will know what Zoom is, right?
Yeah, they want to know what Zoom is. And so, when we think about the pandemic, like I say, we've been doing this for better than 20 years now. And we've been trying to tell leaders in our community and advocating that, hey, we need to make sure that everybody has the ability to connect efficiently online. And so we found out the pandemic just actually told the story for us. It gave us a leg to stand on what we've been, preaching, the stump, and unfortunately, the pandemic was caused by, the COVID virus, and, we think about all the folks we lost, but then we have to think ahead of all the people we retained. And a lot of seniors that did not have the ability to connect online during those 2 years when things were crucial, they had no means of getting appointments for their doctors. They had no means of their doctors reaching them, besides for the telephone, and some, the telephone just wasn't working. And they needed to be seen by their doctors, The pandemic was devastating. And so this let a lot of people know that not only do we need connectivity, because we can have a little connectivity on our little phones, it could be a smartphone, lifeline phone, but will that connectivity stay long enough to have an appointment? For you as a doctor could talk to me and I can talk to you and you can see what's wrong with me because I can't get to the facility. So the virus, even though it was devastating, it did shed the light on the fact that we needed to do better. And so now we're on our way, we're doing better, we're getting better, but we got a long ways to go because connectivity still is a problem. Cost still is a factor, Thank God that, we do have the Affordable Connectivity Program today, but how long will we have it? Will it stay? Will it remain?
Tell us about that connectivity program.
Yeah, the connectivity program allows individuals that would like to have high-quality, high-speed internet to actually get a discount. Before it was an Affordable Connectivity Plan, it was the Emergency Broadband Plan. During the height of the COVID virus, it was called the Emergency Broadband Plan because our schools, our seniors, and just our everyday people didn't have the ability to connect to the services that they needed. So the Emergency Broadband Plan, as the COVID has started to wane down a little bit, it was actually saying, we had leaders saying, we need to keep this around because in order for folks to stay connected, we need to have an affordable plan. So that's when the Affordable Connectivity Plan, the act was voted on and became a bill and now is law. So it's in place for the next couple of years. So
if someone's listening to this and they're going, wow, I didn't know about that, does that mean that you can get access to the internet, high speed, at an affordable rate that would be less than market rate? Is that right?
I would say, Obi, rather than put it that way, I would say that you can qualify for any ISP service, Internet Service Provider service within our area, and that most of them participate in the Affordable Connectivity Plan, which gives you a discount service. Now, a lot of them have a plan where you can get a service that costs $30 for high speed, and high speed meaning 100 megabits up and 100 down simultaneously, so your speed is good. You can give good quality telehealth appointments with that. And so with that being said, that means that gives them the ability to have that service, where that service will cost them $30. The technology, the ACP plan, will give them a $30 discount. And so that means that could be free for that person. But of course they have to be eligible according to the poverty guidelines, from the FCC. And so but they also have caused a lot of competition between the ISPs. And so they are internet service providers, for those that don't know. But they have many more programs now that may bring the cost of your program down. You just have to call the one that the consumer would like to be with. So I don't recommend anyone. They're all doing a great job. Right now in our area, we know we have AT&T, we know we have Spectrum, we know we have Digital C, our local, we know we have PCs for People. I think there's WOW also. So there are many different organizations or companies that you can actually choose from, and each of them are participating in the Affordable Connectivity Plan, but you have to go to each site to see exactly what their plan is.
Would someone, if they are, you're throwing out a lot of letters, right? Mm-hmm. And they're listening to this, if they want to say, what were you saying again? Can they reach you and maybe maybe attend one of your classes and learn more about this?
Yeah, they can actually reach me at 216-421-2305, and they can also reach one of our digital navigators. ASC3 are fortunate enough to be part of a program with the Cleveland Foundation. And the Cleveland Foundation, we're part of a 6-organization program, which is with Cleveland Public Library, East Cleveland Public Library, Metro Health, Cuyahoga County Library, Metro West, and ASC3. And we will be bringing on other organizations as in the future, near future actually. And so we have a group of young people that's been trained as digital navigators, okay? And those digital navigators can be reached pretty much 24/7. You may not get one late at night, but if you leave a message, one will call you back. And so they are available within each of those organizations. The number is 216-307-6990 to be sure. And if that's not right, I'm going from the top of my head right now real quick. Just call 216-421-2305, and you will reach one of our navigators, and they will be able to assist you with any of the plans that I've talked about.
Very good, because I could run down these the numbers that you've been able to impact since 2002. Just a few. You've trained 8,500 plus community residents in Cleveland. You've provided internet connectivity to 2,100 plus individuals, assisted 2,500 families. Yes. We go on. You've helped to really narrow this digital divide in Cleveland. Right?
Yeah.
Let me. A lot of people, you are a great resource. Tell me a little bit about your growing up. Like you're a Cleveland girl, right?
I am a Cleveland girl.
Glenville, what?
Yeah, actually, I belong to Huff, I belong to Glenville, I belong to East Cleveland, because I've had the opportunity to live in all three. As a youngster, we were raised in the Huff neighborhood. We went to the East High School, and so we were there. My family was there until we turned about 18, and then we moved to the Glenville neighborhood, and then from there, became an adult and went to school, and got jobs and everything, and then I migrated as an adult to East Cleveland. So we've just lived in this same area. I've been in the same area for, I would say, 69 years and 12 months, because my family migrated here when I was 3 months old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they migrated here. And actually, we had a family house right on 105. It was called the Gold Coast way back then, on 105 in Hull, right off 105 Street. And the family would migrate, from south, because I was born in Georgia. And they would stay in the family house with my Aunt Effie and her husband, and until they were able to get on their feet, and then they would move out, And so my family then moved to the Linwood area. I actually grew up when times I'd say were really good, because we were right across the street from the Cleveland Browns, and the Indians used to practice Lee Park Center.
Right.
Yes, and the Cleveland Browns practiced there, and we had the best swimming pool in the world right there on Linwood, and that's where I learned to swim.
So you've been throwing down a lot of personal history here, and that leads me right into, our African American cultural garden.
Yes.
That we're trying to be. It's going to be built, right? We are determined that it's going to be built. Can you talk a little bit about, from your perspective, the need to have the garden built?
It's like our space. We have to have our own space. We have made so many inroads over the years. I mean, we had so many fantastic, great, wonderful people to invent things, to build things, to start things. I mean, it's just that, you know, it's like the museum in Washington. You know, when that came up, just the pride that came and the flood of African Americans across the nation, just the fact that that was there, we had our space there, we had our voice there, we'd be seen. This African American Museum is going to, I mean, the Cultural Gardens is going to do the same thing. It's going to give us that space, that pride of being here. Still, I think I'll call it in the Glenville neighborhood, since where it's going to be. But it's there, it's ours, it's developed by us. And we all need to take charge of it, you know, as African Americans, and say, okay, we have a say in this. We've had our team of folks been working on this for us for years. And so now it's time to get it done. And we need to say, well, what we'd like for it to look like. The plans are beautiful. I mean, they are just wonderful. And once that goes up, I think we will all just have that sense of pride for the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, I think about it, you know, the portions of it encapsulate our history, you know, everywhere from the Middle Passage from Africa, right?
Yes.
The civil rights till today. And then I'm hearing your story that you could look at the garden once it's built, and you could tell your family's history by tracing it down the hill.
That's exactly right. You know, it most definitely would remind us, because we've been here, my family's been here so long now, that, hey, we know where it was. We know when that was just a little empty grass space, you know. We know when this wasn't there. We understand the growth of the African Americans in this community, in Cleveland and around greater Cleveland. It's been a long journey for us to actually start to set foot in place and let people hear our voices. Now we people know we're here, they hear our voices, and why not have that beautiful cultural garden right there as you begin to enter on the boulevard. We're number one. We'll be number one right there. And so, hey, once it's up, you know, that sense of pride is going to be there. And that's what it's all about.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm feeling it. I hope that the people who are watching this are feeling it. And, you know, these Sankofa series have to do with reaching into our past, living in our present, looking forward for the future. And that's what the African American Gardens is all about. We're going to get this built, y'all. We're going to finish this. And so we need your help. And stay tuned when you can catch another one of these Sankofa series, when we will talk about people who have contributed to Cleveland the way it is today. My name's Obi Shelton. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Rachel Hill with the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. The mission of the Association of African American Cultural Garden is to educate regarding the African American experience and to complete the monument for the African American Garden. Our Sankofa series represents our dedication to bring you the history and amazing journey of African Americans in this great city. Our garden represents a journey, starting with the door of no return to the resilience of our ancestors and family to make a difference in this country. The water feature gives hope and joy for future generations, knowing that you can accomplish anything with dedication and hard work. We are on the journey to complete the garden. Our goal is to break ground this year to complete the garden, but we need your help to get to the finish line. Please make your tax-deductible donation by going to aacg.org or mail your check to P.O. Box 20237, Cleveland, Ohio 44120. Thank you.